Egashira is on not quite red-green dragons, it's actually Naya dragons. Josh Utter-Leyton on the Megamorph control deck. Kind of odds on minus the white cards, so we will see how this goes. Yeah, they can go ahead and start. How do these hands look to you, Luis?
I definitely like Kenji's hand. I mean, just having Elf plus Caryatid plus some good spells, some dragons is pretty awesome. But Josh's hand is pretty strong against it. Bioblite's not a good card in this matchup, so I imagine that'll be sided up. But it will kill a Hidden Dragon Slayer. Seems like a bit not flavorful to play a Hidden Dragon Slayer in a deck full of dragons, but you know, what do I know? I believe that, you know, a handful of Thoughtseize does match up well here because you can just Thoughtseize both the big dragons, and as long as Josh can find a way to pressure Kenji before Kenji draws another dragon, then that should work out pretty well.
I didn't even realize there were white bordered Llanowar wastes on Magic Online. Josh continuing to troll us with his land choices. What do you think he should take here with Thoughtseize?
My assumption is that Dramoka is the best one to take just now. I
mean, do you slow him down with something like a Mystic?
I don't think that this matchup is fast enough to do that. I don't think you can afford to take one of the mana accelerators.
He does take Dromoka, and Kenji draws a second Atarka.
Yeah. One of the reasons I was thinking to take Atarka, actually, is that Atarka is more annoying to play against than Dromoka, because Dromoka can just get killed by a removal spell, and that's the end of that, whereas Atarka has an effect. So there's something to be said for that, but Dromoka is the more dangerous card because it just costs less mana, and they're both pretty strong. And Josh doesn't have an answer to either, so kind of makes sense where he's coming from.
Did he whiff on that Wayfinder?
It looks like it. Yeah, he did. He did hit a Raptor, but
half a hit, right?
Yeah, especially since Josh does need another black source here. He would love to be able to cast Bioblight on that Elvish Mystic. Josh has an interesting spot here. You can play a face-down Raptor, and if he draws 2 more lands, he can flip it up and get the other one back, or he can just play it face-up because it's much better at brawling. Not getting past Sylvan Caryatid is a disadvantage if you play Raptor face-down.
Oh, for sure. It's got to be Raptor one way or the other this turn, right?
It's his only play, and it looks like he's playing it face-down, which makes sense. You lose out a little bit of damage there, but...
He's debating.
Yeah, it's a tough choice. The thing is, if you draw lands, you kind of want to cast your spells. I guess you only have Thoughtseize, and then the Bioblights aren't that good. Yeah, this makes sense. I don't know. You're not super happy either way. Though, Kenji doesn't have lands either. Kenji could be missing land drops here, or not.
That's gonna help, probably.
Yeah, Courser's pretty nice. Kenji whiffs here, but I would expect him just crack Wooded Foothills, get a mountain, and hope to hit off Courser. 6-drop on top is pretty brutal. Josh has to be glad that he played the Raptor face up here. And then he drew a Den Protector, which makes it even better.
Wow.
Because now you get to smash for 3, then play a face down Den Protector, then next turn you can flip up Den Protector, getting back your other Raptor, and just keep casting Thoughtseizes, or get back a Windswept Teeth, something like that.
Yeah, Kenji really needs land. See, he had 2 in the initial draw, right? He had 2 land Mystic Caryatid, and he's just drawn all fatty since then.
Yeah, it's a very keepable hand. You have to insane to mulligan it, but yeah, Kenji has missed. So Josh deciding whether he wants to attack with this Satyr Wayfinder. Bluffing a Bioblight is the assumption here. The funny thing is he actually has the Bioblight, but the bluff is that he can't cast it.
Does this give him Wayfinder as a target with the Den Protector too? Is that a better than the Windswept Teeth?
If you drew a 4th land, I would be more inclined to do that, but at 3 lands, I don't want to go... Oh, yeah. I guess you can go Thoughtseize, Den Protector back, Wayfinder, go, but yeah, I probably would not be super excited about that.
Well, the bluff worked. Kenji was not interested in risking Courser in combat, so Josh sneaks through an extra point of damage.
Yeah, that makes sense. Though it's going to be a little harder to run it again. I guess you could just claim that you know, try to imply that you drew a black land next turn.
Yeah, Kenji's going to note that Josh missed his land drop. And Kenji's also still missing his own land drops.
Drawing Temple of Malady is pretty nice. You could lead with Temple, see what you're drawing next, and then you could go like Thoughtseize to see what's in Kenji's hand, and then flip Den Protector because you get to attack with Den Protector. So I guess it all starts with Thoughtseize just to get to know what you're up against. You have perfect information, especially even about Kenji's next draw step.
Mm-hmm. I guess the only news here is what Atarka and the second Dragon Slayer. Oh, I guess he no longer knows what the morph is, sort of.
Yeah, he can
Dragon Slayer last time.
You can kind of assume it's just a Dragon Slayer. I mean, I don't know how many morphs this deck is reasonably expected to play.
Does it not play Den Protector? I don't remember.
That is another one. Let's take a look.
It plays Rattleclaw Mystic. It does not play Protector, but it does play Rattleclaw.
Rattleclaw is also actually, that's a card that Kenji would have played face down if he had drawn it.
Also, it's not like Josh has a deck list yet. I mean, he might by now recognize this as the Naya Dragons deck.
Right.
I would think. I mean, Josh is the kind of guy that I'm sure he paid attention to the results over the weekend and saw this list, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much coverage he watched this specific weekend, but partially because my internet was down all weekend and he was here. So, as people who tried to watch me stream on Friday definitely found out.
It looks like Tasigur is the card he sees with Temple.
I don't love Tasigur here. Tasigur costs 1, which is nice at this point in the game, but it doesn't do anything. I think you'd rather just spin the wheel, especially since you kind of want to cast Bile-Blight on Elvish Mystic next turn.
Wow, that was quick. Brad Nilsson has already won his match.
Wow.
So Andrew Cuneo loses. Andrew Cuneo, I believe, is now eliminated from the playoffs. Yes, Andrew Cuneo has been eliminated from playoff contention with that loss. But Brad, late run continues. That's 4 in a row with Green-Red Devotion for Brad.
So Josh was able to pull back a Den Protector with the Den Protector and then pull back the Raptor with its own ability, as well as hitting for 6. And then we knew that Kenji was drawing Sylvan Caryatid. Kenji was really hoping this top card was a land there, because then he could play a land and be at least close to Dromoka. As now he's got to play Caryatid and just pass and hope, I guess, but still take a ton of damage. These Hidden Dragon Slayers are not looking that good against Deathmist Raptors. You get to play it face up. Oh, the old Ugin peel when you're on 4 lands.
Pushed Tasigur and came up with one that's even worse.
Yeah, it would have worked out a little better to see them in the other order, because Josh definitely would have pushed the Ugin and then drawn the Tasigur.
Sure. So Kenji just doesn't seem to have the mana to operate here.
No, and actually he's got a Tarka, not Dromoka, so he's even got a hit. He can't even cast anything next turn, I guess.
How much mana does Xenagos make?
He can, yeah, draw a land, or draw Xenagos, play a land off the top, play Xenagos. Actually, I guess he doesn't even need to draw a land. He could technically just do it right now. And Josh is actually aware of that because he knows everything that's going on here because of the Courser and Thoughtseizes. So Josh may want to Bile-Blight the Elvish Mystics to make that stops 2 mana, because it's takes 1 from Xenagos' ability and 1 from the Elvish Mystic itself. So that seems pretty good. And Josh, considering for a second leaving back Deathmist Raptor because of the Dragon Slayer's lifelink, and especially since Kenji could flip a second Dragon Slayer, but Josh has some options, and he does get to at least block one with a Satyr Wayfinder, so hitting for 3 seems more appealing. So if Elvish Mystic dies and Kenji draws an untapped land, he's still 1 short of a Tarka there. So.
Meanwhile, 9 power coming over, and Kenji's at 10. He's running out of time. Does he have a block here that does anything?
I think Kenji's best shot to win might just be to take it, go to 1, and just hope to draw something good. I mean, Josh is going to, I think, play Bile Blight, try and prevent that.
Kenji does take it and go to 1. Josh does not Bile Blight. There's the planes off the top.
Wow.
All of a sudden, Xenagos into a Tarka just works, right?
Yeah, even... Actually, that's not true.
Is he one short?
Josh can wait. He can wait, and he can see if Kenji goes to plus it, and then if Kenji, because it's not a mana ability, he can respond to the plussing to kill one, and then to kill any creature, or kill like a Hidden Dragon Slayer, and then no, Kenji has 2 Sylvan characters. Never mind.
Yeah,
no, this just works. Yeah, because he hit the land, so he's 1 over. So Josh actually can't stop a Tarka from coming down, which Josh might actually lose as a result here.
Now, if he had Bile Blighted the Elvish Mystic, then Kenji would be 1 short.
Right. Because that's -2. So yeah. Josh can Bile Blight. So let's say a Tarka comes down, kills Raptor and a
Den Protector?
And a Den Protector. And then Josh goes Bile Blight on your Hidden Dragon Slayer to make it so he might as well Bile Blight in response, force both Caryatids to tap. And he gets to attack a Death Mist Raptor in after Bile Blighting maybe the Morph. Yeah, it's going to be closer now, that's for sure.
Wow.
So I can only imagine Josh may have miscounted Kenji's mana by 1 or something like that. So Josh lets Tarka resolve.
Now, how do you split this if you're Kenji?
I would assume kill Den Protector, kill Raptor.
Yeah, that's what he's going to do.
And then Josh has to try to get that last Death Mist Raptor here through. Certainly not over, but this is now definitely a game.
Land off the top for Josh would let him flip a Den Protector immediately. Does that do anything?
I don't know if it gets anything back that's super relevant right now. And Josh does not have a whole lot of lightning bolts.
Right, so how does Josh win this game from here? He basically needs to sweep this board? Or can he just smash Raptors into the red zone and...
He can Bile Blight the face-up Hidden Dragon Slayer, and then attack with the Raptor, and then Kenji has to block with either chump with Courser or Caryatid, but he probably just chumps with Caryatid at that point. And then next turn, Kenji has a Tarka. Josh is at 8 now because he took a damage off Bile Blight and 2 off the Morph.
Doesn't seem crazy to even block with a Tarka since you have a backup.
Yeah. So Josh is going to preserve his life total here and basically make it so he can't kill Kenji next turn. If Josh could cast Dugan, he would win the game, but we're a ways away from that.
Yeah. If this was modern, he might be able to cast Dugan off 4 lands, but not in Steam. Land off the top for Josh.
So Josh is at 10 now. If Josh attacks, actually, he could potentially take lethal. Actually, if he attacks, even if he has 1 blocker back, he takes lethal off. Xenagos making a 2/2 and then just attacking with everything. And actually, Kenji can go make a 2/2, play second Xenagos, make a second 2/2. Josh may have to play like face down Den Protector, leaving Bile Blight up past the turn, in which case he dies in a second turn from a Tarka, and I don't think has a good way out of that.
Crazy.
I guess he gets to flip Den Protector and then gets back the other Raptor, so Kenji doesn't want to kill this Raptor here. So I imagine it's like a Caryatid chump coming, or you could actually go to 1. There aren't that many things that kill you if you go to 1.
True. Looks like a chump from the Caryatid.
Then Josh goes land, Den Protector, pass, and hope to draw Black Lotus to cast Dugan.
Black Lotus would be a good draw for Josh next year, no doubt.
But Kenji is at 4 now, so he might actually survive. He might even be going to 5 here. No, he's hitting a Valorous stance.
All right. No land for the Courser. 15 cards. Kenji's gone through 8 draw phases and only found the 1 land, but that might be good enough.
It's possible that Kenji, let's see, if Kenji goes for the kill here by making a 2/2, making a second 2/2, attacking with everything, can Josh end up...
gets him, right?
So Josh goes to 9 off casting Bile Blight. and then blocks the courser and goes to 1, but then still does not have lethal on the way back.
No.
Alternately, Josh can flip up Den Protector, block 2 things, and
Yeah, the Den Protector flip gets a face-up Raptor to block with, right?
Right, but that's not good enough if the courser also attacks. Josh needs Bile-Blight to survive here. He needs to Bile-Blight.
Shoves everything into the red zone. Josh is obliged to cast Bile-Blight, or he's going to die to this attack.
And then he still has to chump block the courser, go to 1, and then Kenji has a Caryatid ready to block the Raptor, and the Raptor's not even lethal.
Indeed. Wow.
I did not think this game was going to play out this way.
How? Kenji Egashira, ladies and gentlemen. Numat the Nummy wins.
Yeah, Paul would not have won that game.
Speaking of people who are not going to win games, Jerry Thompson is not going to win his game 1 against Owen Turtenwald. Owen has taken a 1-game lead in that matchup. That one is Owen running back Obzon Control. And Jerry is on Esper Dragons.
Yeah.
So Esper Dragons versus Obzon Control there. Thought that one might take a little while. We got to ours late, and it took a while, but Owen and Jerry just ended as well. So does sideboarding do anything here? What does Josh have hanging out on his board?
Let's take a look. So Josh has Self-Inflicted Wound, which could, when you play against a green deck that doesn't have Deathmist Raptor or Satyr Wayfinder, Self-Inflicted Wound is pretty reasonable. It's just 2-mana kill spells. Yes, it only kills elves later in the game when you do want to kill dragons, but it does kill something and give you a little bit of value. Also kills Caryatid, which is pretty nice, even through the hexproof. There's also Crux of Fate. Crux of Fate's excellent in the matchup. And then more important, and Read the Bones is not bad. Most importantly, you get to take out Bile-Blights.
Aha. All right, what about the Naya Dragon side? Let's look at Paul/Kenji's list. See the asterisk there. Kenji is subbing for Paul Cheon. Told the story before, but Paul unable to make it this week, so we tagged in Numat.
There's not a ton of upgrades here. You don't really, you wouldn't want like Hornet Nest. I guess you could put in Ugin if you think you're playing against a long game deck, but Raptor didn't show a ton of what he was about. It looked like a black-green, like almost a low-curve black-green deck from what he showed in game 1. I wonder if Mastery of the Unseen is interesting. Dromilka's command does not seem good enough, certainly.
I mean, Mastery might be good if he knew the deck list, right? And he saw that Josh is quite as controlish as he is.
Yeah, if you expect the games to go long, especially against black-green, which doesn't have an easy route to kill your enchantments, that makes sense to me.
But yeah, whereas Josh may recognize Kenji's deck and sort of have a list in his head just based on having, seen what Ali Antrazi won with last weekend, Kenji doesn't have that luxury.
Yeah.
And it's certainly one of the benefits Josh gets from showing up with a brew every week. Nobody quite knows what he's up to.
Yeah, some people guess you're on Jeskai, then you're the 2 colors that aren't Jeskai.
Exactly. All right. Kenji up a game here. We've also got Owen Turtenwald up a game. Owen playing Obzon and winning. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Yeah, one more win from Owen, and he does officially clinch the 1 seed that basically everybody had conceded to him 2 weeks ago.
Or if Jerry loses, that also would have done it, or at least it would have knocked Jerry out of the running for 1 seed.
Jerry and Paul both have to lose for Owen to get back into it.
But if Owen wins literally 1 match in 2 weeks, he wins.
Precisely. Yeah, there's the standings. Owen far and away above the pack, but then there's definitely a scrum in the middle. Andrew will not be joining that scrum. We'll watch Brian and Tom play after this match, see if Brian can make him. Brad very much charging up from the bottom, though. Already has a win for this week. Already beat Andrew Cunha. Interesting stuff. All right. We are going to be getting down to game 2 momentarily. Kenji and Josh are standing by. Kenji up a game, playing the role of Paul Cheon this week. Kenji played that game pretty well, don't you think?
I think so. I think that the main decision point there that would have swung the game was when Josh didn't Bioblight Elvish Mystic.
Mhm.
You kind of knowing that if Kenji hit a land, he could just Atarka. I could see maybe Josh being a mana off and then thinking he could have stopped it even after the land. But once the land came into play and with all the creatures out, it was too late. So,
But I mean, there was also a point earlier in that turn where Josh made an attack and Kenji basically took it down to 1, which is, I think, a scary thing to do.
yeah,
Well,
I think
that's completely correct.
yeah, that's a good aggressive no blocks.
Yeah, exactly. All right, here we go. Game 2. Kenji up a game with the Naya Dragons list.
I like this hand from Kenji. It's got all ramp spells plus a Courser, which provides a little bit of an advantage, and it's got 3 Scry Temples, so Kenji gets to filter through his cards and is somewhat resistant to Thoughtseize. Like Josh is gonna Thoughtseize him here because he drew a Thoughtseize, and you
He
take
wants to Thoughtseize the top of his deck here, huh?
yeah, you just take Courser at this point, and then hope that Kenji doesn't find a dragon before you get something set up.
Yep. What's he saying?
So, Kenji playing a Rattle Claw here, it looks like. Though,
Claw over Caryatid.
I kind of like Caryatid because that gives you the option of morphing the Rattle Claw later, which is something to do if you've got mana.
And then the Scryland was the important part of that turn, but I didn't quite catch what Kenji got to see.
He did it very quickly, whatever it was. So Josh slamming turn 3 Death Mist Raptor here.
He bottomed something into this haven.
And then dumping his hand because there's no real reason not to.
Yeah, just needs a dragon at this point. And dragon's pretty good against Josh's hand, right?
It's decent. I have to imagine that Josh is going to read the bones into something, but Josh doesn't have like a million removal spells, and it's possible that Josh misses here. Like Thoughtseize doesn't do anything. Josh just saw Thoughtseize, and I assume pushes it to the bottom. And it looks like yeah, Josh really just needs to dig for Silence the Believers or Hero's Downfall or something along those lines. Looks like Josh may have kept the Thoughtseize because Kenji only has 1 unknown card here, but it could be a dragon. Except I think if he pushed with both lands, I don't know. I'm not super inclined.
Wow.
And there we go.
There's the dragon.
Just like we drew it up.
Pretty much. He's already at 7, right? Down goes Deathmist Rapture. Rattleclaw even gets an attack in.
Yeah, Kenji here choosing to hit with Rattleclaw rather than playing the Scry Temple, which I think 2 damage is better than scrying. So
he's even got the Haven to get it back if Atarka does die.
So now Josh, he can play Den Protector and flip it, and I guess get back Read the Bones, which is kind of painful when you're going to hit by Atarka down to 3.
Yeah. Not a lot of time. Like you said, it was possible for Josh to miss off that Read the Bones. He pretty much did. Right? He wound up with Thoughtseize that whiffed. And
yeah, he actually got really unlucky to hit the Thoughtseize since he cast it.
Right. All right, well, here's Den Protector. There's no answer to Dragonlord Atarka in Josh's yard, though, right? I mean, hypothetically, he can, with 1 more land, Bile-Blight, flip Den Protector, Bile-Blight again?
It actually looks like Kenji has lethal here if he chooses to go for it. I'm not saying it's great. He can just use the Dragonlord to fight. Actually, I guess he gets the Deathmist Raptor back, so it is not quite lethal. It was close, though.
There's an interesting attack.
He's got a Dramoka's Command. So Josh is going to flip. He gets to go block. Kenji now knows that Josh can't do anything, so Kenji could fight Atarka on the Den Protector and then put a +1/+1 counter on like Rattleclaw, and that forces Josh to block Rattleclaw, and then take 9 going to 2. That seems pretty good here. I mean, you can put Josh to 1 by making a Tarka a 9,
Mm-hmm.
but then the Death Mist survives, which I don't really
Yeah,
like.
that doesn't seem as good. Dromoka's command definitely the play, but what is Kenji going to do with it?
I think it's worth playing. It's not crazy to not play it, but against a deck with removal, I like casting it while they're tapped out because you've got a a lot more of a risk if you wait. So now this forces the play from Josh. So
Yep, he did exactly what you suggested. Turn his Rattleclaw into a 3-power creature. It must be blocked, but is big enough to trade. Josh takes 9, and Josh draws a land.
oh, and part of it was that Kenji saw that Josh pulled back Read the Bones, so dealing 9 to Josh is extra value.
No more Read the Bones.
Josh going out with style here. No, he goes to season 3. So Jungle Hollow, almost getting him there. Jungle Hollow put him to 3 so he could cast Read the Bones, go to 1, but then he couldn't find a way to kill a Tarka.
He found a Crux, but he doesn't have the mana for it. Look at that! Numat the Nummy wins the match. Our legendary streamer, our substitute, our pseudo Cheon, climbing not just the Cheon power rankings, but also the standard Super League. So Kenji is through to the semis. Wow, played that match really well.
Yeah, I liked his plays. Having a Tarka on top of your deck when you get Thought Seized, that was an especially good play.
He did have 3 Scry lands, right? I mean, I think that deck is happy. It keeps a bunch of fast mana and 3 Scry lands.
Oh yeah, that's a perfect hand.
Totally reasonable. All right. Well, Kenji through to the semis. Brad Nelson is through to the semis. We've got Owen Turtenwald still playing. No, Owen Turtenwald has won his match 2-0. So Owen defeats Jerry. Owen clinches the #1 seed, so we all saw it coming anyway, but now officially, definitively, Owen is the #1 seed. Jerry, though, stays on 70 here. It's interesting. Brad has definitely got the ability to make a run here. And Josh on 45, having lost this match, he can no longer get any more points. He actually needs help if he's going to stay in contention.
Yeah, so looking at the chat, actually, Josh meant to have a stop on the draw step and that turn where Kenji played a land and played a Tarka in game 1, but just didn't have a stop there. So that was a problem. And then apparently he was not able to sideboard, which is why he had Bioblight in his hand, which kind of confused me. So
what would the stop on his draw step have done?
He was supposed to stop on a draw step in game 1, see what the top card is, and then kill Elvish Mystic. Instead, Kenji just goes land a Tarka. So
oh, jeez.
It's tough.
He intended to kill that Elvish Mystic, but didn't set the stop correctly.
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
Wow. And he says that's on him.
Yeah. I mean, it is. He could have set the stop. But I have done that before, so.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a thing that happens. All right. Well, we got 1 match left in the first round. It is going to be